morning, everybody. Could it be a case of once, twice, three times a Moyes? Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. It is Monday. It's not Friday, and I say it's Monday. I do apologise, and I must have had a real brain fart that day. But obviously, it's match day live. It's match day morning, and it's live as we play Wolves this evening. 8 o'clock kickoff in what could be a decisive game for either manager, for Gary O'Neill or for Julian Lopetegui, in all honesty, with highly sort of assumed that whoever loses their job. And we've had a number of managers, particularly from West Ham, number of names being linked, last week, particularly after the Leicester defeat, like Sir Graham Potter and people like that. And a report today by our friend and yours, TalkSport's 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏, puts a little bit of interesting, a little wrinkle in the discussion, because it does seem, by again wading through what's been said on ITK news and reports and shit like that, it does seem that the people that we've been approaching are basically don't want a short-term deal, and that's all that's apparently on offer at the moment is a short-term deal, and it does seem that there could be a role for a caretaker manager to come in. And who is the caretaker, as we call him? It should be his wrestling move, but none other than the man himself, Mr. David Moyes, who apparently, according to reports, and I say apparently, there we go. That one's is a right use of the word apparently. But according to reports, he has told Mr. Sullivan he is ready to work if need be, with reports that he could be a potential, calm down, a potential for a caretaker role if the decision is made to get rid of Lopetegui. The long-term view is to bring in a obviously longer-term manager, and that wouldn't be necessarily David Moyes. Not saying it is David Moyes at all, but he has apparently said he's open to the potential of coming in and basically holding the ship. And I said ship for a few months. Now, it doesn't, he did it before, didn't he? And to be honest, in terms of who they potentially have lined up, according to 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏, it does have a little bit of the Pellegrini vibes. Slav left, Moyes came in to steady the ship, and then in came Pellegrini. Now it's could be a case of Lopetegui gets, moved aside. David Moyes comes in again, thrice, to steady the ship. And then, according to reports, Massimiliano Allegri has agreed a move to West Ham. He reportedly held a meeting and it's been told, according to reports, that he has agreed a move to West Ham, but on one condition. That condition is he would not take over until the end of the season, as he didn't want to ruin his reputation by potentially coming in halfway through with a squad which isn't his squad. And I can understand that. And actually, as I think it's the same with someone like Graham Potter. Graham Potter wouldn't want a 6-month deal. He'd want a longer term deal. Now, the fact with putting in David Moyes into that sort of report does somewhat question the credibility of the rumour, in all honesty. We know Allegri has been touted as a leading candidate, although we're unsure and unclear as to whether it is from either camp, whether it's from Steidten or Sullivan, or indeed the others. Apparently, there's 6 candidates the board is split on in terms of who could potentially be the next West Ham head coach. Michael Carrick's been listed. Michael Noble's very obviously not involved in the board, but as such, but has been championed in Michael Carrick. We know that Edin Terzic is unlikely to have the job under the current ownership. We've got 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏. We've got 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏. We've got Graham Potter. We've got Massimiliano Allegri. And apparently everyone's just doesn't really know who they really want. So it might be a case of getting in a caretaker manager to steady the ship while they make that decision. He's been out of work since his very dramatic departure from Juventus. He was sacked 2 days after guiding them to winning the Coppa Italia against Atalanta because he was shown a red card during the game for an explosive touchline outburst, which saw him rip his jacket off and sarcastically clap in the referee's face, leading those actions to his immediate dismissal. Now, TalkSport claims that Allegri has held talks with West Ham, but would only consider the role at the end of the season. And that has prompted, as I said, the Hammers to consider looking at a caretaker manager route, with the report suggesting from TalkSport that David Moyes could step in for a six-month stint. The slight fly in the ointment is in this sort of whole maybe far-fetched domino effect is that Allegri apparently is also on the radar of Serie A side Roma. But apparently, I've said it, he's in London learning English and stuff like that as he sees the Premier League as his next destination. So I wouldn't rip your coat off too much around it. It's a bit chilly at the moment, particularly at Stratford, but particularly the wind going around that stadium. So your guess is as good as mine. There was also reports of us being linked with other managers as well. There was like a Spanish manager. What was the other guy? What was his name? It was in a Spanish thing. What's the guy's name? Doesn't actually say his name. Oh yeah, 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏, who was involved in Osasuna. And he's currently head coach at Club Mallorca, having left Osasuna in June this year. There was also reports, as of Michael Carrick, there was also reports of, where's the other one? We've mentioned him before, the Al Ahly manager, Matthias Jasley, who apparently he's been lined up as Stuttgart's potential replacement if 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏 comes in. So it's almost like getting the replacement in. Well, although his contract is there until 2026. And I mean, he was the guy we mentioned when we talked about this whole sort of plan for 2026. You know, Ilario from Bournemouth, his contract is up in 2026 as well. And we're suggesting that with that and the shirt sponsorship change and the potential ownership of the stadium, potential change in kit manufacturer as well, that sort of 2026 is a big year potentially, and it might be that we get a relatively safe pair of hands on that until the right man is available. But who knows? I don't know. All we do is bring you reports, but I thought it was quite an amusing report by Alex Crook. So stranger things have happened at sea, haven't they? Football's a funny old game, according to Jimmy Greaves, and so if that's if we get that, I'll be very surprised. But it's a theory. I don't think it's an article; it's a theory in my eyes. But can't really see too much happening with that one, to be honest. But we shall see. Don't forget santacode.co.uk for your Christmas letters from Father Christmas for your little ones. Very, very quick turnaround time, very, very quick delivery. And West Ham Network viewers get a discount of 30% by using West Ham Network, the promo code at checkout. There we go. Save you a bit of Bunsen burner. And you look really good in front of your missus because you've done something really nice and Christmassy. And it's saved you a few quid as well. They don't know. Anyway, match day late afternoon. Outside the London Stadium, starting 11 show. We'll have the watch along, the review show afterwards. Hopefully a win, and we'll keep on the train. We'll keep going. Come on, you Irons, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.